So, have you ever felt like you're trying to grow as a leader, but you're not totally sure what you're even aiming for? Well, today we're going to dive into a really powerful idea that true, meaningful growth starts with a crystal clear vision of your future self. Let's get right into it.
It's impossible to hit a target you can't clearly see. I mean, it's so simple, but it's everything, right? So often we try to get better by focusing on what we did wrong. But that's kind of like trying to steer a ship by only staring at the wake you're leaving behind. You just can't get where you're going if you don't have a destination in sight.
And that right there is a trap that so many of us fall into. We get stuck in this loop just picking apart our past mistakes. Now, don't get me wrong, a little reflection is good, but just dwelling on what went wrong, that doesn't build a future. It just anchors you to the past. And to really move forward, we need a complete mental shift. So how do we actually make that shift? Well, it's all about moving from a mindset of fixing our flaws to one of building our future. This is about being the architect of the leader you want to be instead of just reacting to the leader you were yesterday.
This whole forward-looking approach, it's actually rooted in a field called positive psychology coaching, or PPC for short. And PPC isn't about just, ignoring problems. It's about using these focused, positive exercises to build a vision that's so compelling, it literally pulls you forward.
And you know what? The results are incredibly powerful. When you consistently take the time to reflect on your ideal future, it does way more than just feel good. It actually sparks positive emotions, things like hope and optimism. And that feeling, in turn, fuels better, more effective leadership in the here and now. Okay, so let's get practical. The core tool from PPC that we're talking about today is this exercise called the Best Possible Leader Self, or BPLS. Think of it like a mental rehearsal for your future success. It's a structured way to imagine, in really vivid detail, your ideal leadership persona.
And that's the absolute key connection. Visualizing your best possible leader self isn't just daydreaming. It is an act of empowerment. By getting super clear on who you want to be tomorrow, you're literally creating a roadmap for the choices you need to make today.
All right, so how do we actually do this? How do we put this into practice? This next part is the action anchor. We're going to break down exactly how you can use this visualization exercise to really accelerate your growth.
So the whole exercise really boils down to 3 key steps. First, you've got to maintain a positive focus. Second, you envision how you'd handle a specific challenge. And third, you define the core actions of that ideal self. Let's break that down a bit more.
Step 1 is the foundation for everything else. As you start this exercise, it is so important to tell your inner critic to just take a break. This is not the time to think about your weaknesses. The entire point is to focus only on your potential, on your amazing capacity for growth, and on the person you can become.
Now for step 2, we get really specific. I want you to imagine a realistic, tough scenario. Let's say a heated disagreement erupts among your team members. Now, how does your best possible leader self handle it? Do they step in to facilitate a solution? Do they create an atmosphere where everyone feels safe and heard? Really see it clearly in your mind.
And finally, step 3 is where you make that vision concrete. Based on what you just imagined, I want you to identify 3 specific qualities or actions that define this ideal leader. Is it their unwavering composure when things get crazy? Is it their clear, empathetic communication? Or maybe it's their ability to just make a decisive call. Name them. Seriously, write them down. So here's the big takeaway from all of this. The Best Possible Leader Self-exercise is so much more than just a feel-good thought experiment. It's a practical blueprint. It gives you that clear target we talked about, and it turns a vague goal like be a better leader into a real, actionable plan.
And that brings us to the last thing I want to leave you with. Just take a second and really think about this question. If you had to pick just one thing, what specific action or behavior in the future would tell you, yep, I've made it. I've become my ideal leader. Whatever your answer is, that's the first step on your journey.